Black Nortons are here, 3 of them no less, and the team of Robert Dunlop, Trevor Nation and Steve Spray is very impressive. Honda's top man who's sure to impress is Carl Fogarty. This year he won the Formula One World Cup for a 3rd time. The RC30 Honda number 69 means Jamie Whittam, of course. He won the big one here 2 years ago. And yes, number 3 is the Honda of Joey Dunlop. And after his Formula One win at the Ulster Grand Prix, the local favourite can't be written off. And on the Loctite Yamaha, there's Rob McElnay, the big man making his return here after an absence of many years. Good afternoon and welcome to Kirkistown. Practice going on behind me at the moment. And that list of big names, well, they're all here for the showpiece of the season. And a huge crowd should be guaranteed a superb day's racing. Well, the big one, the Sunflower Trophy race, comes up later. But it's with these superbikes we start. And all of the men I mentioned there well to the fore on the starting grid for that. So let's get to the racing. Now, our commentary team today must have a fair chance of knowing what they're talking about. Both former top riders, they are Roger Marshall and Keith Ewan.
Thanks very much, Jackie. It's nice to be back at Kirkistown, especially on a lovely sunny day. We're looking at the grid for the Calibre Senior 1 race. In pole position, Carl Fogarty on the Honda. Very, very quick today. Very, very quick in practice on Friday. On to Jamie Whittam in 2nd position. Number 69, look for Jamie Whittam. Come back to form this year. He's been struggling all year long. He's getting quicker and quicker. Certainly not getting any prettier, so we'll move on to Rob McElnay, number 19 there on the Loctite Yamaha. Rob had a superb race at Monza in the Superbike rounds, both legs in the wet, so perhaps he's ready for any kind of conditions here at Kirkistown, but for a change, it's very, very hot and sunny, which is great stuff. Trevor Nation, 6th place on the grid, looking to do the work for the Norton. There's number 5, Trevor Nation, on the outside of the grid. Dave Leach with his hand in the air. He's got a problem. They're waiting for the lights. They've done their 2 laps warm-up now. Dave Leach got a problem with his bike. The marshals are holding the start of this race up. And he's ready into gear. We're looking Calibre Senior, race 1, 12 laps. Watching the lights. Trevor Nation on the Norton on the outside. Watch for the Black Norton. It's very fast, and they're off. And we're in for an absolute cracking race here. Carl Fogarty gets a really, really quick start, but it's the Norton of Trevor Nation, number 5, steams into the lead, as we would have expected, straight away down towards Colonial. Trevor Nation, a very determined man, had terrible trouble with suspension problems in practice, but he's gone back to the setting he started with on Friday, and it looks to have worked. Carl Fogarty, fastest man in practice, and McElnay sticks it right up the inside. McElnay's looking to not let these boys get away. Roger Marshall, what would be your tactics in this circumstance?
Well, we've seen 2 great races over the last 2 years at Kirkistown of the big senior races, and Rob McElnay there just made a terrible mistake at the chicane. Whether he got pushed out or not, I don't know, but he worked his way up to 2nd, and now he's dropped back to about 6th, and it's let a gap open up for Nation and Fogarty, following them both into the hairpin.
Yeah, McElnay found himself out on the curbs and in a bit of a trouble at the chicane. Dave Leach made capital of that. McElnay's not going to let him get off, though.
I think McElnay there, Keith, has dropped back into about 10th place.
Jamie Whittam in 4th, Brian Morrison in 5th. Jamie Whittam now making the move. Dave Leach back there, number 7. What's the Dave Leach? A man in form here at Kirkistown. Carl Fogarty looking for the inside line into Colonial. Not a chance this time round. Trevor Nation has got this race covered at the moment. He's certainly a man determined to make his mark on this race. Fogarty looks for the inside of Colonial and snatches the lead from Nation. Nation just ran a little bit wide there. Found it all, and Fogarty sits up at Fisherman's. This is going to be a major race. Into the chicane. Fogarty, Nation, Whittam, Leach, Morrison, McElnay, and it's very, very close, and we're going to be in for an absolute cracking race here. Down the back straight, down towards the hairpin on the brakes. Carl Fogarty is superb here on the brakes, but so is Trevor Nation. He is not messing around today. I've not seen Trevor Nation look this determined for a while. Carl Fogarty, number 4, leading this Calibre Senior race, 1 over 12 laps. He's got a little way to go, but he's got it in control at the moment.
It certainly looks to me, Keith, that Carl is holding that advantage, and Rob can't make any inroads into Jamie Whittam at the moment.
Yeah, but all the action is back for 4th and 5th and 6th place, with Robert Dunlop closing up the gap. There's McElnay, number 19, in 3rd place on the Loctite Yamaha. Superb rides for Leach, a man back on form. Obviously, it's very hard for a man that's retiring backwards from Grand Prix career, so it's nice to see him taking such a determined effort here.
Yeah, I noticed on the grid there, when he was talking to his mechanic, Rob McElnay, Keith, that he was shaking his head. I'm not sure if he was happy with something or whether they got the wrong compound tyre on, but that could have been the slide he had. He could have had the wrong tyre, or the bike's not quite right, but it certainly set the pace in practice, as we saw.
Carl Fogarty enters his last lap now. Carl Fogarty, number 4 there, the last lap flag. And there we are, 69 in second place, Jamie Whittam. Third place, Rob McElnay, number 19 there. Brian Morrison, number 2, forces his way through to 4th place from number 5. Trevor Nation, the leading Norton from Robert Dunlop, number 11. Carl Fogarty through the chicane. He has got the race in the bag. He doesn't make too many mistakes. I hope I don't open my mouth too soon. He is making a very, very stylish ride there through Fisherman's and into the chicane. Now, number 4, Carl Fogarty, race leader on his last lap. Jamie Whittam there, 69, closely followed by Rob McElnay, really trying to force his way further forward. Superb stuff from all 3 of these men.
It'll be interesting, Keith, here that now Robert's got right up with Trevor Nation to see if that Robert will make a determined effort at the very final corner at the hairpin and hold the Irish pride.
Well, there we are. Our man Carl Fogarty on the Honda, a big wheelie out of the hairpin there, coming to the line for a race win. Carl Fogarty wins, number 4 from Jamie Whittam, number 69, from Rob McElnay, number 19. So that's the first 3 in the Calibre Senior Race 1 over 12 laps. Carl Fogarty, race winner.
Carl, I think it's fair to say that you looked pretty pleased there.
Yeah, I was pleased to win that one. There's 3 races today, and I've got one of them now, so I can relax the rest of the day.
You must have gone into the race worrying about the threat from the Nortons, but it didn't really materialise.
Yeah, Trevor got a good start, and it's always hard to get past Norton because it has a little speed advantage down the straight. But once I did get past, I just went as hard as I could and then looked round after a few laps, and there was a gap then to Jamie, and I just kept an eye on the gap all the time, and he just stayed about the same way through, so I was quite pleased.
Well done, good start of the day. Thanks a lot, Carl. So next it's the 250, plenty of good names here. The cross-channel man to look out for are Kevin Mitchell and this year's TT Junior winner Ian Locher. There's also the Dutchman Patrick van der Geurberg, who holds the lap record in the 250 class here at Kirkiston. The local men, well, they're headed by Joey Dunlop, Woolsey Coulter and Brian Reid. Should be very close. Let's join it.
We're in for a superb race with the 250s. This is my favourite class. Wait for the lights. Watch these boys. It is going to be a superb Calibre Junior Race 1 over 10 laps. Well, the tension is high as they get themselves still sorted out here. Watch for the start. Jürgen van der Geurberg in pole position, number 8. Closely followed by number 1 there. You see the 2 bikes on the left, the DocShock bikes. Gary Cowan's old team. Gary will be watching these with interest, I'm sure of that.
What a moment for Phil and McConaughey there, Keith. You know, first one-day international licence holder among all that talent, front row of the grid.
We're all here with bated breath as the man walks across with the board. Watch for the start. Calibre Junior Race 1 starts, and they're away for 10 laps of hectic racing. Who's made the break? Through Datter's Dip. A superb start there from a gentleman. Let's have a quick look on here. Number 16, what a superb start from Martin Jupp. There's a man, he was on the second row. He got an absolute blitz in start there. Martin Jupp in first place, number 1 there, Patrick van der Geurberg in second place, and he didn't waste any time, did he? Into Colonial 1, straight up the inside. Take that, Martin Jupp. Well, a clean start from these boys. Not any problems whatsoever. The current 250 lap record holder, new tyres, on the blast, down the back straight for the first time. Oh, and look at this lead he's carved out for himself there, Roger Marshall.
Yeah, fantastic, Keith. He's really gone for it. He's obviously confident that the weather is good. The tyre has obviously warmed up very quickly. And look at this dice downfield. There's Brian Reid there, I think we saw, right up into second or third. Yes, it's Brian. Up into second. Well, what about that, Keith?
Well, they're on lap 2 now into Detters, and I did expect to see quite a bit of shuffling going on here, but I've got to say I didn't expect to see anybody, even the lap record holder, getting away like that. Number 1 there, number 11. That's Brian Reid. He is a Regal man, of course, double Regal championship, double Regal 600 championship here in Ireland. But Brian Reid putting a storming start into his racing there.
Well, it just came out of nowhere there, Keith. He obviously has won the Regal race. He's had some great results this year, and he said he was out to enjoy himself this meeting, and he's certainly doing that at the moment. And also in third place now, we've got Wolsey Coulter.
Well, we've got a lot of local interest here, that's for certain, but we can do without this man, I suppose. The Dutchman absolutely stealing the show at the moment, clearing off in the distance down the back straight into the hairpin. He is really making a move here. He's proving that his brother set pole position, but unfortunately he hasn't been able to follow it up. There he is, down the field. There we are, Vanderberg finishes lap 8, starts lap 9, well in the lead, no trouble whatsoever from Wolsey Coulter number 4, from number 11. That's Brian Reid having a superb day out, from Martin Jupp having an even more superfluous day out, the word I like to use in the 250 class. From number 5, Ian Newton down in 5th place from the Johan Holtrider, another Dutchman.
We're looking at two superb Irish riders here, aren't we, Keith? Wolsey Coulter, as you said, who wins in England. He's a great rider. We've seen him win at Cadwell this year on the television in difficult conditions. And another man, Brian Reid, who very rarely now crosses the water. But what a rider Brian is. He's won the Regal for the 2nd time running, and he's riding great.
Well, here we are with the race leader, number 1, Patrick van der Goorberg. Superb riding. It's almost a shame that this man managed to get such a break at the start. It would have been great to see Brian Reid and Wolsey Coulter in there from the start, but unfortunately that was not to be. We are now on lap 10, the final lap. Patrick van der Goorberg, number 1 there on the Dock Shop Team 250 Yamaha, doing the business in the Calibre Junior Race 1, almost making it look just a fraction too easy for my liking. From Wolsey Coulter number 4 in 2nd place at the moment. Number 11, Brian Reid, bringing up the rear of the front 3.
It's an interesting prospect, this, Keith, because I don't know how Jackie Fullerton's Dutch is at the moment, but he's got to interview this guy, so I hope he's got his phrase book ready.
Well, I actually thought, Roger, that you'd be down there giving him a bit of hand with that. You did say you would. So, back with the race leader. On the back straight for the last time, on the break into the hairpin for the last time, the 10th and final time. Patrick van der Goorberg, the Dutchman, on the 250 Yamaha, rounds the right-hander, and he has time for plenty of time for a wave as he heads up the line for the last time. That's Patrick van der Goorberg wins by a mile. 2nd
was Wolsey Coulter, Keith, followed by Brian Reid in 3rd place.
Well, my Dutch is non-existent. Let's try English, Patrick. Last year, lap record. This year, a new lap record and a victory. You must be very pleased.
I'm very pleased. Last year, I did some good laps and good races, but I blew up my start every time. And this time, the start was okay, and I got away perfectly. And it was a very good race, no problems.
And brother Jurgen 4th.
I don't know. Is he? Yeah.
Yes, he was.
I think he had a bad start. Otherwise, he's be able to, for sure, finish in the first 3, but maybe next time.
Good start for the brothers. Brian Reid, 3rd place. He just couldn't catch this fellow behind me.
Yeah, well, he got a good start and just got the break at the beginning, and you know, his bike seems very quick, and he just seemed to get away, and then Wolseley came past a few laps from the end, and I just settled for 3rd.
Yeah, I think you enjoyed that dice with Wolsey, didn't you?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, he was going well, and his bike seems to be going really well, so we'll have to get this going for the second race now.
Right, there's still a lot of racing to come, of course. The big one is now. Welcome back to Kirkistown, and I'm in pole position alongside Carl Fogarty because it's time for the big one, the Sunflower Trophy race. Now, last year, Ron Haslam blew everybody out of sight on the Suzuki Grand Prix. It will be much closer this time. Let's join Keith and Roger again.
Thank you, Jackie. We're in for an absolute cracker. The Jim Finley Sunflower Trophy race is going to be the business. There's no doubt about that.
I think Ian Duffus there, Keith, had trouble starting his bike. He still is, so the other riders will be getting very frustrated with the engines getting too hot. They'll be boiling. They'll be want to get going. The nerves are setting now.
Yes, weather conditions here are perfect for this race. We're in for a cracking race, and the red flag is moved to one side. They're watching the lights into gear. Motors revving and rising. Carl Fogarty in pole position, number 4. Who's going to make the break? Oh, that's superb. That was Rob McElnay. Number 19. McElnay really made the break there, but Carl Fogarty slings it across the front of them through debtors. A brilliant style from Carl Fogarty. This man is not being held today. He is in earth-shattering form. Jamie Whittam, as predicted, number 69, second on the grid. He is in 2nd place through the 1st Colonial, 2nd Colonial, and up towards Fisherman's. Great stuff. Look at this. Carl Fogarty, number 4, leads the Jim Finley Sunflower Trophy race on the first of 12 laps into the chicane. Number 19, Rob McElnay there, has made the move already, Roger. That is good to see. He got balked early on in a race earlier this day, and he's not going to be caught out by that again today.
Yeah, it's interesting, Keith. Something happened to Rob. He either had a bad slide or he got moved over in the earlier race. And Rob this time will be out to actually split the two Hondas up or get himself a win, I'm sure.
Well, while you were talking there, Roger, Carl Fogarty came into the hairpin for the first time and he had an almighty slide on in the brakes. He knows he's got to get his finger out fast this day into deficit for the second time now. Lap 2. McElnay looks very determined. Number 19, Rob McElnay, into Colonial 1.
Colonial 2 there, Keith. I mean, I was talking to Rob earlier. He said there's a slight bump there, a patch where a lot of people lose the back end, but his bike looks to be handling as good as anybody's through there.
Yeah, I just noticed George Farlow just pulled into the pits. Number 15, George Farlow, not having a very good day today. Well, I suppose we must give a mention, of course, to the now missing Johnny Ray, who was injured 5 weeks ago at Lough Shinny. Johnny's well and on the mend, and he's watching this race today, and I'm sure he's having a great time watching it as well. We look to see you soon, Johnny. Back with Carl Fogarty, number 4 there. Leading Rob McElnay from Jamie Whittam, and there's the Nortons running wide again. Robbie Dunlop, number 11. There was Steve Spray, number 20, qualified well down on the 4th row of the grid. On to lap 3 now. There's the Norton of Robbie Dunlop, number 11. Roger Burnett there, number 9. There's a bit of Lincolnshire interest for you, Roger. Roger's had not a very good day today. Perhaps you can give us a bit of information on that.
Yeah, I think Roger has struggled a lot this year, and the Suzuki, they've had trouble setting it up. But Roger keeps saying to me all the time that if he had his endurance bike here, he'd be at the front. I think this machine is now aging a little bit. It's similar to the 87 bike that Jamie Whittam rode, and I rode in 87, Jamie rode in 88, so it's getting a bit long in the tooth.
Well, this man's not getting long in the tooth. The wee man, number 11, Robert Dunlop there. Down in 8th place, he's well off the lead, but back with the leaders. Carl Fogarty, number 4, leads from Rob McElnay. My pronunciation changes by the laps. In 3rd place, Jamie Whittam, number 69. In 4th place, number 2, the ever-improving Brian Morrison. Here we come, Brian Morrison through Debtor's Dip. Trevor Nation, number 5, follows him through. And the second black streak is number 11, Robbie Dunlop. Number 2, Brian Morrison there on the Drambuie Honda. Brian Morrison couldn't be touched in 1988. He was the fastest man out, had a not very good year at all in 89. Started very, very poorly, I suppose, by his standards in 1990, but a real blast of form towards the end. Oh, and Carl Fogarty has got it all on the move in the brakes. He knows McElnay is sitting right on his backside. He has a real snatchy look round at the... Oh, and another one. It's no good looking that side. McElnay will be looking up the other side. Rob McElnay riding superbly, as best I can say that I've seen him ride in some years now.
He's certainly riding good, I must admit there, Keith. I think the big 4-stroke suits Rob. Look at Fogarty, all action style as usual.
Well, I think that's about an indicator that our man, moving on to lap 5, Rob McElnay, is going to make a move on Carl Fogarty, who is trying everything, bar taking to the grass, to keep in front. Watch for McElnay through Colonial 1, flicking left for Colonial 2 and out towards Fisherman's. And McElnay looks the smoother of the two riders, which at the end of the day will benefit him tremendously. He looks like he's got something in hand. He's in a very strong position. Jamie Whittam has not actually proved that he's a race leader today, even though he's been hanging in there all day long. But I think Carl Fogarty is in all sorts of trouble at the moment, coming under tremendous pressure from Rob McElnay, onto the back straight, on the 5th lap.
It's interesting to say about Roger Burnett, Keith. He cruised past the pits and he was up in a good position, so he's obviously going to pull in this lap. And by the looks of it, we're watching the monitor again, Rob McElnay can't draft the Honda and pass it down the straight at this stage, so they very evenly match the bikes, and Carl's on the back wheel there, sliding it, Rob Mac right alongside.
Well, look at this, we're into Debtor's Dip, and McElnay there, not on on the best line into there. He had the outside line. He was forced onto the outside line. But I take your comment. The Yamaha doesn't look the quickest bike compared with the Honda. If anything, I would say McElnay has got a slower motorcycle, if only by a couple of miles an hour. But look at Jay. Oh, and right out of the seat there. Did you see Carl Fogarty? That man doesn't want a chair on there. He wants strapping to hold him down.
This is Carl at his best, Keith. He loves it. He's looking over his shoulder. He's enjoying his ride. He knows Rob's pushing him. Jamie's right with him, though. We're coming up towards the back straight again. Let's see if this Yamaha can hang in the slipstream.
Well, what can I say? We're on lap 6. Carl Fogarty leads from Rob McElnay, from Jamie Whittam, who is looking for a move on McElnay. Then we have Brian Morrison, number 2, closely followed by Trevor Nation, number 5 on the Norton. Brilliant stuff. Through the hairpin on lap 6. Entering into lap 7, all over the road. Carl Fogarty has regained some of the composure. He's been out of the seat, he's been sat on the seat. He's done everything he knows except lash out at Rob McElnay, who is very calm indeed in second place.
Can I just put in there, Keith, and tell you that Morrison is on the charge. We've seen Brian Morrison.
And at that time, I have to interject there, Roger. McElnay fires his way through there. Sorry about that, but you know what it's like. McElnay makes his move. He's looked the faster man all the way through. Very smooth indeed. Back to you, Roger.
Yeah, Rob's made a nice break there. He's done it where he thinks he can just pull a bit round Fisherman's, the chicane. We'll get onto the back straight, try and not let the Hondas draft him. But Brian Morrison is certainly coming up behind the Honda Britain boys in a challenging position.
Well, it's characteristic of Morrison, number 2 on the Drambuie Honda. I always remember Morrison having not such good starts, and he'd work his way through the field towards the end of the race. Coming up to lap 8 now, you're right, Morrison is right on the tail of Jamie Whittam, number 69. So, on lap 8, Rob McElnay leads on number 19, number 4, Carl Fogarty in second place, 69, third place, Jamie Whittam, number 2, Brian Morrison there, heading through Dennis Dip, the fastest corner on the track, followed not so closely by number 5, Trevor Nation, who's having a good day out by the Norton standards here this weekend, not quite coming up to expectations, I must say. They've had several suspension problems and bits and pieces like that. I know you've been down in the Norton camp to have a look, Roger. Can you make any comments on the state they're in?
Well, I couldn't find Barry Simmons, but I did speak to Chris Mayo, who is the top spanner man there, and he did say that there was no problems with the Norton. All 3 riders were very happy.
Well, that's good news, of course, as far as the team's concerned, but it's doing nothing to sort out this race order. They don't seem to have anything to be able to do here from the very, very on-form Rob McElnay. Oh, and look at this, look at this. Under pressure. Carl Fogarty is under severe pressure from Jamie Whittam. Jamie Whittam is getting better by the minute.
I think we just nearly lost Trevor Nation there. He shot past the corner, but he's back on course and he's driven out.
Well, yes, Trevor Nation's taken a bit of an overshooting session. It hasn't affected him too much, of course, but Trevor is wrestling with his motorcycle. McElnay improving his lead. Carl Fogarty in second place, number 4. Number 69, Jamie Whittam, closely followed by the Drambuie Honda of Brian Morrison. Number 5, the Norton of Trevor Nation. And are they going for it or what? What a superb Jim Finley Sunflower Trophy race. 12-lap race. We're on the 9th lap now, and it's all happening out there.
These boys are on the edge, Keith. You saw Fogarty there, he's just pulled a bit on Whittam, so I don't think Whittam will draft him down the straight this time. That means in the slipstream and by him, but I think Morrison is very, very close to Whittam, so we'll see if he'll draft him.
Well, all the action at the moment is 2nd, 3rd and 4th, there's no doubt about that, but I've noticed Dave Leach coming up. No, take that.
Jim's Whittam there, Keith. He locked the rear brake up and he overshot slightly.
Yeah, and you can see there, it's getting very tense indeed. Morrison out of the saddle, on the power, hard on the power. You can see in the background there, Dave Leach, number 7, having a superb ride, albeit out of camera shot most of the time, but he's been hanging in there waiting for this lot to end up on the grass. So, Whittam drops back. Morrison, number 2, leads this particular group.
I think we can just say there that Dave Leach, Keith, who you were mentioning, he's now living over in Northern Ireland and riding with Irish sponsors, and he's had an excellent year, and he just missed out on the European 600s Supersport Championship by 1 point, so he's had a great year all round.
Well, we can also say that Leach qualified 1 place in front of Trevor Nation on the Norton, and of course at the moment the roles are reversed on track, so we might find that Leach has the extra performance to be able to pass Nation. Here we are, 2nd place man, Carl Fogarty, 3rd place man, the Drambuie Honda. Oh, and look at this.
Whittam did it again, Keith. He locked the brakes up, he overshot, and it's given Nation the opportunity to go by.
Yes, and there's a man that doesn't need too many invitations to pass. Number 5, Trevor Nation, in front of number 69, James Whittam, through Devon's Dip and out to Colonial. Jamie Whittam still looking for the way past, and he is an opportunistic rider. He won't take much of a gap for him to force his way through. So while all this action is going on, to recap, we've got Rob McElnay out leading this race by a mile. Carl Fogarty in second place. Brian Morrison third. Fourth, I should say, is Trevor Nation. Fifth is number 69, Jamie Whittam. And here's Rob McElnay on the 11th lap. Number 19, Rob McElnay on the Yamaha. Superb riding all weekend. This is his first event here at Kirkistown. The first time he's ever been here for this calibre meeting. The man has looked classy all the way through. And there's Fogarty wide again on the brakes. He is desperate to make up ground, or is he desperate to keep people back? Last lap, Rob McElnay on his last lap dispenses with number 29 there, a back marker. That's Mike Meskel. This is almost a demonstration ride on his very first visit to Kirkistown. The sun shines for Rob McElnay.
Yeah, what a great man Rob is. I mean, we've seen Rob in action before. He rides good, he's done well in Grand Prix, but he's come back on the big four strokes and he's shown he can handle them. Unfortunately, Carl Fogarty can't live with him this time, but Rob's having a superb ride. He looks steady, he looks safe, and he's got everything in control.
Well, I would echo all of those comments. Brilliant ride for McElnay. Brilliant day for McElnay, but of course Carl Fogarty has still got a bit of a handful on his hands at the moment with that man Brian Morrison, who is well known for making a last lap manoeuvre. Here is McElnay, last time round the hairpin, entering his last cross of the line, looks round, leisurely look round, wins the race easily. The Jim Finley Sunflower Trophy race winner, followed by Carl Fogarty in second place, number 4, and Brian Morrison, a very improved third place.
A great race, Rob. First time at Kirkistown and a win.
Yeah, what a way to go. Yeah, I've enjoyed the track when I first got on it on Friday, and we've got the bike working really well. The Dunlops work great, and the first race a bit apprehensive at the beginning, and I made a little mistake and dropped back. So I was concentrating hard in this one. I knew this was the main event, and I wanted to do the job, you know.
Would it be fair to say in the early stages the Hondas looked quicker than the Yamaha?
It's been a bit like that all this year. The Hondas just have a bit more legs on the straight, but our bike's working really well around the turns. And a place like this where it's so bumpy and so important, at the end of the day, I think we had the edge, you know.
Well, we haven't seen you across here for a few years. Have you had a fairly good season?
It's been okay, yeah. We've been doing World Superbike this year with the Yamaha. And ups and downs, you know, it's like a season is 16 races long. And we missed a few important races and lost a few points, but at the end we're still lying 5th in the World Championship with a good chance of getting 4th. So we're happy. Loctite are very happy.
Right, Rob, well done on that big success.